All right. All right, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of lukegtv, and I'm your host, Luke G. Today, we got a little bit different of an interview. This is the first prison interview I've ever done. We got a guy from California, Big Lou. He's a YouTuber. He is a dad, a grandfather, and he's been out of the system for 5 years or so. He's doing good, and he wanted to tell his story. So we've been in communication. He found me from my interview on Blood on the Razor Wire, and yeah, it's just cool how these things happen. You do an interview, you network with people, and you meet people from all over the country. So it's pretty cool, man. Big Lou, you want to just give a little introduction and tell us where you're from? Tell us, how life started and kind of like just your childhood and stuff like that.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to say thanks for bringing me on. It's honor and a privilege, or pleasure, excuse me, and appreciate you bringing me on. Also want to say what's up to David S. Cameron in the chat. I've been associated with David for about a year. Stand-up guy, always showed a lot of respect for me, even before we made a channel or anything, just like in comment sections. I'm 44 years old, born in the Bay Area. I'm born in the Bay Area, in Oakland area. Moved to the Valley, Stockton area when I was a kid, real young. But kept the Bay Area ties because I got a huge family that's from in between all the neighborhoods, not the neighborhoods, but the cities in between, from Fremont to Oakland, California, which is Alameda County.
Alameda.
I got a lot of cousins from Hayward, a lot of cousins from Oakland, well, not from Alameda, but a lot of cousins from Oakland, a lot of cousins from Hayward. I got a lot of cousins from Dakota, and a few from Fremont, a few from San Leandro, Newark, such, so on and so forth. Moved to the Valley, raised in the Valley, raised by a single mother. Parents divorced when I was, split up when my mom was pregnant with me. I got two older brothers and a younger sister. So I have a 59-year-old brother, a 55-year-old brother, then me, 44, and then a sister that's 34. Grew up playing a lot of, actually, like I mentioned, my father was moved back to the Bay when they split up to San Leandro. He moved to San Leandro. I grew up going out there, spending a lot of time with him. He kept me, nice and fitted because like I mentioned, my brothers are a lot way. Responsibility was just solely me. So he had me in nice Reeboks, and that's when I started. The hat thing was way back then. My pops had a lot of different hats. I used to take them with me, things like that. He took care of me good as a kid, and then he lost his job. He was in the Teamsters Union. The job that he had it for like 21 years at that time, from the late 60s up until like 88. And so he and everything started going bad for him there in the Bay Area. He moved back up to the Valley, and then it became a little rougher then for me as far as just getting school clothes, eating, stuff like that. It was a little rough. Now when I think back on things, I think about how these kids nowadays got it so easy. Literally, where I was walking on my own or riding a bike to the dentist, to school, at a young age, 7 years old, 8 years old, on my own, so it's a trip when I think back on things with the kids nowadays. But I played a lot of sports as a kid. First was baseball. My dad spent a lot of time with me, and teaching me the right way to play baseball, as far as on the defensive end, and swinging and holding the bat, all that stuff. He was instrumental to me. Started schooling me in sports, as far as a history of sports, baseball, basketball, and then I ended up including boxing and pro wrestling. I was big on pro wrestling when I was a kid, from like 84 to 91. A lot of and then you're from Minnesota too, so that's like Vern Gagne, all them guys from over there.
Gagne,
a lot of people don't know, but Minnesota. Minnesota has a ton of people. Rick Flair was from there. Yeah.
Hey, so my cousin, actually, he played for the Minnesota Gophers, and he tried out for the Miami Dolphins, and he didn't make the team. He actually is a WWE wrestler. His name's Madcap Moss. So that's kind of funny. Man, my family, we've always been huge wrestling fans, like Vern Gagne, you know, Andre the Giant, Stone Cold Steve Austin, all that shit. So I'm rocking with that. Just had to say that real quick.
Yeah. Well, Vern Gagne opened up AWA Wrestling, and that was based in Minnesota.
AWA.
You know, and you got Ric Flair was trained by him, starting through them. You got the Road Warriors, you got Ravishing Rick Rude, Nikita Koloff, Perfect Mr. Perfect, Demolition from Minnesota. You got Scott Norton, John Nord. I mean, the list goes on and on and on with Minnesota guys. You know what I mean? And they're greats too. They're not just, you know, just wrestlers. But
right.
Yeah. So I got schooled in, you know, in sports, in the history of sports, and then also, like I said, pro wrestling. Then I started playing basketball a little bit, maybe 10 years old, 11 years old, and then from then on, basketball was my thing. I always was.
Yep.
Basketball was my, you know, that's what I did. Play basketball all the way up until all the way to the last time I was in prison. That was my thing. But then I started getting bad knees as I got older, and you know, and now just forget about it. I won't even try. Plus, I was in an accident at work, and I'm cool. I'm cool. But so you know, so the neighborhood. So I grew up on the west side. The town I live on is the west side, but it's not where the west side, like the neighborhood west side is. It's a little bit further away. But I used to go over there and kick back with the homies and all that. I never actually got jumped into a neighborhood. But that stuff doesn't even matter once you start, especially once you start going to the system. All that doesn't even matter, because you're not going to be in there telling people, "Oh, I'm from the west side of town," or "I'm from the north side of town." That's not tolerated within your peoples, because that's considered set tripping, right? So, but I used to play west side versus south side and football, and you know, like I said, my brothers are a lot older, so that, you know, they were well known in the areas. You know, then at some point, I started dabbling a little bit, making a little bit of money. Figured out it was real easy. Also doing a little at my job. I started doing a little. I don't even know what you would call
it. Okay, 1 second, you guys. He's timed out. He's from Oakland. He's from the Bay Area, Stockton, Northern California, that type of stuff. Looks like he disconnected, you guys. Just give me a second. He'll be right back. But yeah, he's from Oakland, man. What happened, bro? Okay, there we go.
Wow, that sucked. Sorry, I don't know. I wasn't playing with nothing. It just said something went wrong.
Damn, bro, your connection's way better now, because you had a really bad connection before. So I'm glad you rejoined. So good shit.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Hey, so one of the comments, someone asked, where are you from?
Yeah, so I seen it. So I'm like I said, I'm born in the Bay Area, and I was raised, and then I moved to Stockton area. And the reason I say Stockton area because I bounced around a lot. So yeah, that's why I say I'm not from a neighborhood. So because of the bouncing around,
right.
You know what I mean? I'm not from a neighborhood. But you know what? I'll just put it like this. I spent majority of my life in Tracy. So Tracy is the city of where DVI is at, dual vocational institution. I did a video on that yesterday, matter of fact.
Tracy,
yeah,
that
so
used
it's the birthplace
like
of the Black Hand.
School, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. That's what it was called. Yeah, because originally it was a youth authority. You know what I mean? So.
Yep. So okay, so you're getting a little older. You start moving and grooving a little bit, hustling and doing your thing. Did that start escalating? Did you start meeting new people? Like, what kind of drove you in the motion to go, to prison, if I may ask?
So yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I started hustling. It became easy, right? Easy, quick money. Just to maintain the little lifestyle I was living. Paying for the motel room. you know, putting rims on
Yeah.
your car, putting bead in your car, you know, stuff like that. And I like to put away. You know, I like to put money away because you never know what could happen, right? You want to make sure you're comfortable, your people are comfortable, if something happens. So that was instilled in me young, right? Well, not even that, just money for books, money for packages, paying some of your bills, since you're the one that's paying everything. You know what your people's gonna do, right? So it just became easy. So my first case was just a possession of sales case. You know what I mean? And I kind of like, to be honest, if I would have just held off a little bit longer, I would have definitely got some county time. But as soon as they came at me with that 16 months, I jumped on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey,
looking back on it.
Can I ask you something quick? You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but like, what drugs were you selling, if you don't mind?
Say, what? You broke up.
Like, oh, I was gonna say, if you don't mind asking, you totally don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but what kind of stuff were you oh shit. Sorry guys. One second. Damn, I'm gonna have to chop this up real quick, you feel me? Don't leave, you guys. It's gonna be a fucking fire ass interview, man. Hate when this shit happens, man. Hate it. He'll be back though. He'll be back in a second. Oh, I think there he is. Maybe not. What'd it do? Well, I'm just gonna sit here and hit my vape then, I guess. Damn, man. All right, that's all right, bro. That's all right. So anyways, I guess maybe should I tell a little quick story? Yeah, maybe I will. So actually, since he was talking about the Bay Area and stuff, I was actually born in Sacramento, California. You know, my biological father, who I've never really met, I mean, when I was younger, before I could remember, he was my biological father is from Sacramento, and he is French and Mexican. So I always kind of wondered, like, you know, theoretically, like if I was in Cali, I picked up a case and I went, you know, to the pen. I wonder who I would roll with, you know. But here's Big Lou. He's back on.
I'll let down now. I'm gonna find a better spot right here. I hope.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good in the hood.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Your video's breaking up, but yeah, I can hear you a little bit.
Yeah, I know people probably wondering why I don't go in the house. Well, I got a little one. I got a granddaughter. The kids are loud. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be able to do it like that. And I do most of my content usually outside or the car, anyways. That's just the way I do it. Because all pictures on the walls. You got some nasty people out there. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You know?
Right.
Let me see if this will help out any better here. I don't know. I hope so.
Hey, and I'm starting to learn shit like that too.
I've already seen it.
I went live the other night, like, and I was downtown Minneapolis, and I had some weirdos like, that were trying to come find me and meet me where I was. And I don't even got 1,000 subs yet. I'm at like 770 or some shit. So you got, like, with this YouTube shit, man, you gotta really, like, you gotta move correct, man, because there's a lot of fucking weird ass people out there, man, like you said. So
see. How about, am I clear?
Out. No, you're cutting out big time, bro.
Wow.
I mean, I can
give me 1 second. So yeah, I keep seeing this guy. He's whoever that is, he wants to know so bad. I mean, obviously, bro, if I'm telling you, I said Tracy, the Bay Area, bro, I'm from the north.
Right.
I mean, you know, I don't want to get into all them words. I don't use them. I don't like to talk about all that.
Yeah, sorry, I'll take that comment off, but yeah, you guys, another big thing about this video, like you said, we're not going to be mentioning any specific organizations. I mean, if you know anything about this kind of content, like you can probably just connect the dots. But yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Like, dude, so I'll tell you, I'll tell you a little story now and wait for him to pop back in. So I had this dude, okay, this is a less than honorable moment, bro. So, you know me, like I ain't a bad looking dude, right? And I'll tell this story another day. This is Big Lou's story. I'll tell you all that story next time. How yeah, you probably just want to do it like that, bro. That'll be better. You there, bro?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now you're perfect. Your voice is perfect now.
I can't believe I'm in so much trouble with this, man.
Sorry, you guys. Sorry, we got 7 people in the live.
Yeah, I apologize, everybody. I normally, mother fudge.
I'm gonna answer someone's question real quick while you get ready. Yeah, bro. So basically, I'll tell you this. Yeah, it's lukegtv podcast clips. So yeah, some dude who was stalking me from Minneapolis, he was posing as one of my subscribers and said, hey, like, cause he knew I was switching to Suboxone. So he was like, hey, what's your address? I'll send you some Suboxone. Yeah, lukegtv. So he said, yeah, I'll send you some Suboxone. But I figured out by like how the dude typed, I could kind of put it together who it was. And basically this dude freaking is trying to find my address by saying, hey, you need Suboxone, you need this, you need that. And I'm like, dude. And he was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like you were at the festival in downtown Minneapolis. I was going to come try and find you. I'm like, come try and find me. I was like, I don't want to be found, first of all. And so that shit's creepy, man. You gotta really, like, on this YouTube shit, man, you gotta really move correctly, man. 669. I like that, man. 669. Thanks, bro. Thanks for that donation, buddy. Appreciate it. $6.69. I'm gonna go buy me a McDouble or something. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, no, and that's why so I say I'm from Minneapolis. I'm actually not. I don't live in Minneapolis anymore. I live in a city outside of Minneapolis, and I'm not going to disclose that. No one going to be knowing shit. So yeah, exactly. Like when I did that live stream, I said I was in Tuscaloosa, Alabama at first, but someone still put it together where I was though. So even if okay, what's up, Big Lou? You're clear. You're looking good, bro.
Well, I tapped in. I used the new phone, so let's see what. Yeah, so
dude, way better, bro. Way better.
I don't know why I didn't do this a long time. I apologize, everybody. This definitely wasn't part of the plans right here for all this.
Dude, okay, bro. I'm just gonna tell you, like, this new phone is A1. Like, you're good now, brother.
It should be. I spent like a couple $100 more on it, so it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
5G, 128 mig, whatever that's called.
Right.
Whatever.
But I'm gonna just say one thing real quick, you guys. Like he said, we're not gonna get into names. We're not glorifying certain organizations, certain people, certain places. if just put the dots together and think with your mind if you know, and if you don't know, then you don't know. So go ahead, Lou.
Yeah, if you don't know, then you better ask somebody, but just don't ask me. You feel me?
Exactly.
Anyway,
Exactly.
yeah. So what I was saying, I didn't realize it, but I already had lost connection. What I was saying was, all that north, south, or whoever, whatever group you ran with, doesn't matter when it comes to the message. You know what I'm saying? The message is I want to detour people from making the same mistakes I made, because let's keep it real, man. Prison life is not for everybody, man. Because the fact is, you don't have guns in there, so when it comes down to it, you got to get up close.
Hey, the wind from your windows kind of blurring your audio, bro.
I'm parking right now, anyways.
Okay, cool.
So it should be better, hopefully. Yeah, I'm parking. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't get it till I was 39 years old. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It's not too late, but we're trying to get a hold of people before they get to that, even get there. You know what I'm saying? To make those mistakes. It is what it is. And it's going to prison. It's ugly, man. It could be ugly on all kinds of different levels.
Right.
And you're taken from your family and things such as that. So that ain't gonna work. So you know what I mean? Why not just not even put yourself in that position? That's the best answer. You know what I mean? So
for real.
Yeah. So I think I was saying, what was I saying? Like, I was playing basketball, up until a certain age, and then I got the taste of making that easy, quick money.
Right.
And then
I asked you, would you mind sharing like what that was? You don't have to if you don't want to, but
the type of substance.
Yeah.
It was Go Fast.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah, Go Fast. Yeah, it was Go Fast, and it was, it was like where you were getting I wasn't doing nothing huge, but I was making money. I was able to save money. I had me a nice, decent lowrider, with rims, and I just didn't get actually, it wasn't a lowrider because I didn't have hydraulics yet, so it was actually a cruiser. But rims, beat, all that, and I was able to put money away and continue to do my thing. So basically was just, I pick up something, I sell it to somebody else and make a little profit off it. It was a decent one because it went fast. There's no need to be greedy. That's the way I used to look at it. If you're able to make something and put it away, and then also eat and put fuel in your tank for that day, you're winning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now, don't get me wrong, I don't mean just $50 or something like that. I'm talking, something decent, but I wasn't on the scale of some of these other guys where they had to literally, like, they were pushing to double their money. And that's kind of, insane sometimes as far as the money, the amounts, you know what I mean? So,
right.
Like I said, they came at me. I know for sure if I would have just fought it out for a little minute, I would have been able to get some county time, but I took that 16 months with half deal. And
so you took the first deal.
Yeah. Well, it didn't come out right away, but eventually it was a few weeks down the road. You know what I mean? But yeah. Yep.
And that's my problem. What I've done in the past, like I had some cases before where I could have won, but I wanted to, I wanted to get out of county so bad because, it's just the conditions in there are so horrible. It's like,
it sucks. Yeah, exactly. And then once you get the taste of prison, all the other times you come, when you come back through again, you're ready to go. You know what I mean? You ain't trying to stick around that place.
Right.
You're trying to get on down the yellow brick road. You feel me? Yeah, you're trying to, like they say in New York, go upstate,
Yeah.
We don't call it that here. We just, they say the big house, go upstate, things like that. Up top. I hear a lot of people. Yeah. So we just call it go to the pin, the pinta, the joint, you know what I mean? So like I had a couple older cousins that they're actually my mom's first cousins.
Yeah.
So, we don't say, well, this is my second cousin Jimmy, my second cousin Anthony. No, they're just my cousin, you know what I mean? But they started schooling me where I was asking them a lot of questions at a young age, 16 years old, somewhere around there, and I used to take in what they would tell me. And then I started meeting a lot of the homeboys from them, through them and things like that. And then knowing that the reception center in Tracy is, where it's located, you have guys from Sacramento County, from Yolo County, from Stockton, from Modesto, they go there. So it's, Stockton being 300,000 people, you know you're gonna meet somebody that you know.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So you went to Tracy first, right?
Yeah. Reception
And
center. Yeah.
you knew you had some homeboys there that you knew from the streets right away, and they got tapped in right away, or what?
Yeah. I knew. There was cats there I knew already. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So, but basically, this is how it works. When you go into any facility in California, you go through R&R. So that stands for receiving and releasing. Anytime you leave or come into a facility. So the way it works is as soon as you get to, and this goes for San Quentin and Tracy, as soon as you get off the van or the bus, you're stripping out butt naked. As soon as it's your turn, you're stripping butt naked out. You're outside. Okay. You do your little, you walk in, they might ask you at the time what your name is. And if you've already been through the system, then they'll ask you your numbers, the numbers you've had before in the past. And then you state those off to them, and then you walk in, and then you do all the cough and all that crap. And then there'll be a worker right there, and he'll ask you what size shoe, and he's just looking at you for your size. So he don't even know, size 4. He's just doing it whatever by looking at you. Only thing he asks you is your shoe size, and then they hand it to you. They hand it off to you like a quarterback hands off to a running back, and then they don't want you stopping right there putting it on. You take it in your hand. You walk down to wherever holding tank you're being directed to go in, right? And so the way that works is usually so up northern cats will go into the tank with the blacks, southern cats will go into the tank with the whites. But in reception center, you're not with, they don't put north and south together in reception. Once you get to a main line where you're going to do your time, then you're around them. So they keep us separated. Okay, so the reason I'm bringing this up is R&R is because when you go in there, they do all your medical things. They ask you, you want to hurt yourself, or you've ever had any issues with mental health. Make sure that the medication you're taking at the county that you're going to get that, or however they're going to work that. You also, if you need to talk to the psych, you will, but that's how it starts at that nurse level. Then you'll be called into the R&R sergeant, and that's when they'll ask you, well, who you run with. So this is very important too. If you go in there and you actually don't run with nobody on the street, even if you're Latino or whatever, they're going to ask you, who you run with. And you're going to say, oh, well, nobody. So they're going to go like this. Well, where are you from on the street? And then you say Sacramento, Stockton, Oakland, San Francisco, San Jose, wherever. They're going to automatically put you down as being from the north, and you're going to go sell up with the north. Because everything's done by race here. You're sold up with your own.
That's crazy.
Everything's by race. When it comes to telephones, when it comes to showers, when it comes to benches, seats at the TV room, bars to work out with, handball courts, basketball courts, everything's by race. So so the best thing to do is this, because if you go to that cell with that dude, say if you go in there with a northerner, they're going to expect you to be up to, they're going to expect you to comply with the procedure is with the, within the household. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't, it's going to be an issue. So you better speak up and say right then and there that, hey, they just put me in here. I don't bang. I'm not with this. That's your best bet, because what they'll do is they'll have you moved, and that's the best bet for you, because if your heart's not in it, it's going to cause problems for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I got a quick question. So I was talking about this when you disconnected. So obviously I was born in Sacramento, right? My biological father, he's half French, half Mexican. So I am technically partially Mexican. However, I was like, what's the best word? Like culturally, I don't really identify with that as much. So like, what would I do in that situation? Where would I go? I was always been curious about that.
Well, I mean, basically, you got to identify what were you raised.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'd run with the whites for sure.
So there you go. So yes, you got to go. You got to go with what you're raised. Your nationality don't even matter, because what I mean by that is this: if you're black and you run with the North or you run with the South, and you hear somebody say something about the N-word in passing, that don't have nothing to do with you, because you know what I mean. So if you're raised, banging with Latinos, whatever it is, if it's Fresno Bulldogs, if North, South, whatever, that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? So in your case, if you're raised, white, that's what you are. That's what you run. Right. That's what and then that's the thing too. I heard Splinter. I don't know if you know Splinter is from
Yep.
point of view. So yeah, I've heard him say, there's Caucasian and then there's Woods. So, when it gets to that, basically all that matters, bro, is that when shit jumps off, you're there and you participate.
Right.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, don't if something's gonna pop off and then you're gonna say, oh, I didn't know I got caught, using the bathroom. That ain't gonna fly. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to knock your head off. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, man, you get, say you say you got a habit and so you catch a petty theft with a prior, and then eventually that sends you to prison. That's how it used to work. Now they got a new law here where it's anything over $950 is a felony. Anything under is a misdemeanor, property wise.
So okay, so like that's what confuses me, because back in the day, like a petty misdemeanor could send you to prison.
Petty theft with a prior.
Oh.
So in other words, you'd have like 2 or 3 of them, at least a minimum of 3, 2 or 3, depending what judge you went in front of. But yeah, sometimes it'd be 5 or 6 before it sent you to prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just depends. It just depends. The judge has a lot to do with it when it comes to that, and the DA, because obviously the DA is pushing it. Usually 8 times out of 10, the judge is going to go with whatever deal that the DA gives. They usually roll with it. But I've heard of times where the judge will step in and say, no.
Right.
I don't think that, he's been given so many chances. That's nothing, it's very rare, but it does happen. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, that's how it worked back in the day with people that had drug problems, man. After maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 sometimes, then they would end up going to prison with 16 months, what have. And and then let me explain that too. Now halftime starts at the moment you're handcuffed. But back then, it was 2/3 time, and you had to get out of reception, get to a main line, and get signed either.
Yeah, that's what we got up here. We got 2/3 in Minnesota. So like off 90 days, you do 60 type shit.
Right. So that's how it was here too for the longest, especially the county jail. That's how all the county jails were. But the prison, it didn't count until you got assigned. So the most they can keep you on a 16-month with a half. So 16 months with half is 8 months. The most they can keep you would be 10 months, 20 days if you don't get a job or go to school.
Sure. Crazy. So the first prison you went to, what was that? Like a level 2, level 3, level 4? Could you elaborate on that?
So the first prison I went to was Tracy, which was reception, all mixed. Then once I got out of there, and when I got to wear blues, was Delano, and I went to the 3-yard building 17, which was level 2, because I only had 16 months. So that only got me 2 points. That was only like 2 points for the time right there. Sure. Let me break down how the point system goes in California. They recently changed it, like about 10 years ago. Now level 1 is 0 points to 19 points. Level 2 is 20 points to 36
felony points or what?
Huh? What is that?
Are they felony points? Like
no. I'll explain all that right now.
Okay, sorry.
0 points to 19 points is level 1. 20 points to 35 points is level 2. No, 36. Excuse me, 36 points. So 20 to 36 is level 2. Level 3 is 37 to 61, and then 62 and up is level 4. Okay, so they go off of 4 questions. That this is what determines how many points you have.
Yeah.
One question is how old you were the very first time you're arrested. So obviously, the younger you are, the more points you're going to get. Yeah. The second question is how old you were when you got to reception on this case, the case that you're in prison for. Okay. Third question is, do you belong to a gang or a disruptive group? So if you go in there and say, I'm a Crip, I'm a Blood, I'm a Northern, I'm a Southerner, a Bulldog, so on and so forth, you'll get 6 points for that. And then the last one is 2 points times every year you get. So if you go in there with 5 years, say you go in there with 5 years, 4 months, that's a 64-month sentence. They don't look at the months, they just look at the year. So it'll be 5 times 2. So you'll get 10 points for that. And that's how they determine how many points you have. And then
Yep.
if you have anything in your past, like shoot terms or anything like that, shoot terms, and also actually really I don't know if the shoot terms come into effect, but what does come into effect is the violent like any assaults on staff or other inmates, and also like any type of introducing contraband to the institution. Sometimes that can make a difference too in your points.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So and then that's the way the point system is now. Before, the way I just said it, except for level 1, everything else was 10 points minus, except for level 1. So level 1 was still 0 to 19. Level 2 used to be 20 to 27. Level 3 was 28 to 36. No. Level 3 was 28 to 51, excuse me. And then anything above 51 was level 4. Yeah, that's how it used to be. So I hit Solano level 2, which was the 3 yard. Now I believe they call it C yard. And it's a dorm level, it's a dorm setting. It's still a 270 design building, meaning from the tower where a guard would be if there was one there, he can look from a 270 design and see the whole building.
Sure.
And it's cubicles. It's Solano is designed where it has dorm A, dorm B, all the way until I think it was Z, and then it was like 8 to 10, 12 bunks, not bunks, but total guys in each cubicle.
So it's like an open bay.
Yeah, it's open. Well, but it's against the wall. Yeah. So you're in there with whoever. But I was involved with a little riot, not so much a riot, but a little melee of 5 on 17 and north and south. And then what they started doing was they had everybody separate. North and south no longer were in the same buildings in the dorms, because that way they can have more control. They can have more control that way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So during that term, the worst thing I seen was that, I was only there. I think by the time I got there, I was only there for like 4 months, four months, something like that. Because like I said, 10 months, 16 months with half. I did some time a little bit in the county. I did some time in the reception center, of totaling about 5 months. So I only had like 4 months left once I got there. Right. And I got a porter job in the building, and then my halftime kicked in. So I did like almost 10 months.
Okay, not bad.
I think it was like 9.5 months, I think it was, if I remember. So This is back in the 90s. This is back in the late 90s, so 1998. So I was 20 years old when I went through there.
Okay.
And then I got out on parole, continued to do the same type of stuff I was doing before. Got caught up again, got 2 years this time.
Okay.
Again with half. Yeah, again with half. Just to be clear,
months.
Just so everybody knows, all my terms, I got halftime, except the last term I got a strike on it. But it wasn't a violent offense. A lot of charges. See, you got a lot of guys doing life in prison, and they got struck out, right? The 3 strike law, and their charges aren't even violent. So they might have, bro. So say they have like in 1977 they might have had a residential burglary, so they broke into a house. That's a strikeable offense, but it's not violent, so you can still get halftime on it. And what I mean by that is, if you can go into a house, rob the house, and nothing happens, but you can also go into that house to rob it and somebody be there, and then something happens. You know what I mean?
Right.
Violently.
Right. If the person's in the house in Minnesota, that's called a first-degree burglary, and that's serious. Yeah.
Well, that's what this called here too. Residential burglary is the first degree. A commercial second degree. It's a little bit different. It's not violent, But so what happens is, back in the day, like, you have some guys that have one like maybe from 77, and then they had another one from 88, and then they came through after 1994 through 1996, 1998, and they caught something else, say a possession. They struck them out, and none of their offenses were violent. So that's why a lot of it's getting overturned now, because originally when that law was written, it was written in 1994, around 94, from the Polly Class incident. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No,
Polly Class, she was a little girl that got taken from out of her window, and this weirdo named Richard Allen Davis, he's still on death row right now. He was responsible for it, they proved him to be responsible, and he had priors in the past, some weirdo stuff. And her father's name was Mark Class, and the governor at the time was Governor Pete Wilson, and they pushed hard. They pushed hard for this 3-strike law, but the problem was they manipulated in the court system because this law was written for violent and serious offenses. So we all know violent offenses are murder, attempted murder, manslaughter, great bodily injury, assault with a deadly weapon that caused harm, mayhem. You know what I mean? Serious offenses, obviously sex crimes. And so what they did was they manipulated once people started going to systems. It wasn't I guess I could say it wasn't, the stipulations in the law wasn't clear, so they did what they did. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah,
basically they wrote the law maybe with good intentions, but the DAs took it and they ran with it with their own agenda, basically.
Exactly, because we all know when it really comes down to it, the conviction is more important on their records, for their political careers, than to say, well, when I got this guy 5 years and you only got him, you got this other guy with the same case for 2 years. That doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's the conviction rate. Most of the time the DA's got political agendas where they want to, go up the ladder to whatever.
Which is messed up, because they should be searching for the truth and justice. They shouldn't be doing it. And that's what the problem has become in the judicial system, is these DAs, like, it isn't even about you or what really happened. It's about their career and their agenda, like you just said, man. And that's the problem.
Yeah, prison reform is definitely needed big time in this country, on the federal level and the state level, because exactly like what you said. It's not, it's supposed to be, convicting you on a without a reasonable doubt, not me prove my innocence. You know what I mean? And it's just all out of whack, man. It's out of whack because there's another agenda there. Like you just said. And I mentioned before that a lot of these people are always looking to go up in the world, in their careers, which is normal. But when you're doing it at other people's expenses and using the law as a crutch, and it's not cool. And then the judges don't do nothing about it, because at the end of the day, the judges are the referee, right? They're supposed to make sure that everything is on the up, So when you hear a judge say, "Oh, well, come on, people, juror so and so, I know you're going to you got plans for a vacation Friday. Let's get wrapping this up. That's not cool. You know what I mean? That's planting the seed. That's that bull crap. So
on your second term, you said you got out on parole and you started kind of doing the same thing. You want to elaborate a little bit on that?
So yeah, I just continued to do the hustling. I tried to get a job initially, but as soon as I got turned down, I just used that as an excuse to go back to doing what I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's pretty much throughout my adulthood, going in and out of the joint. That's what I did. I used it as an excuse. As soon as I got turned down for a job or something, I just used the excuse to go back to doing what I knew how to do. And that's what I'm going to get to. That's what I'm going to get to later at the end of this, is what I end up doing that helped me stay out. You know what I mean? I end up doing something I always told myself I never would do. You know what I mean?
So did you get raided? Did you get a controlled buy done on you? Like, how did you get caught?
No, that was later. That happened to me later. But no, on these, no, I've just ended up getting pulled over the second time and had something in the vehicle. And because I was on parole, I found it. The first one though, I didn't get caught at all. What happened was somebody was with me, tried to hide it, and then they ended up taking us both, and nobody copped to it. You know what I mean? Until I end up taking the deal. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, pleading to no contest and taking that little 16 months. But yeah, so the second one I got 2 years with half, I ended up going right back to the same place, same pen, same line, Delano again, same yard. Because the way it worked back then was if you so back then, now it's on, they call the SOMS program on the computer. Everything now, if it comes to your medication, your money on your books, your C file, your central file, everything is on computer. There's no more detours, you know, nothing that will hold you back from being housed in the right place or anything like that. So let me give you an example of what I mean by this. Okay, what happens is, okay, so in this situation where I end up going back to Solano was because your file was actually a file, right? And it would come from Sacramento. So when you were leaving your county jail to go to, say, Tracy or San Quentin or whatever reception center you go to, your file would come from Sacramento to that place, and they'd be waiting for you to get there. They already know you're coming.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens is when you go from your reception to a main line, which in my case, I went to Solano, I got out, I came back in like 3 months, right? Your file is still there. So they're going to send you to where your file is at. So that's how you end up going back there.
Right.
So what was happening a lot of times, sometimes when guys would transfer, go to another prison, their file didn't follow them. They would put him right in the hole because they're like, oh, we don't know his classifications. So they put it in the hole, him in the hole or her in the hole until their file catches up to them at that prison. And then once it does, they take him to committee, they get him out of the hole, and they place him, you know, with everybody else where he's supposed to be housed at. Now, like I mentioned, everything's automatically goes with you. It's on the computer. So like even your money, when you would transfer from one prison to another, your money would take a couple of months to follow you sometimes.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Now it's just automatically, boom.
Right.
Medication, everything had to go back through the pharmacy again. You know, so if you transfer somewhere on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday, you're not going to have your meds. You have to wait till Monday. They get around to getting you back up to, you know, and through the system. Now it's just automatically goes with you because it's in the computer. So they're making a lot of changes. They're catching up on the time, you know, but yeah, I did 2 years on that one, which was 24 months as half. 24 months at 12 as half. I did, I think I did 13 on that one. I got as soon as I got back there, I got at the cop that was in the building where I used to be at the time before. I got moved right back in there and then straight to a porter job again. So I didn't have to, I did. Well, no, I didn't do 13 months. What did I say, 13 months? No, I did I think it was 15 months altogether.
15? You did 15 on 15. The 24?
About 15 because, because the time I'm in reception, none of that counts. But
right.
I did more. I was more closer to the halftime this time. And then I got out and then I was cool. Well, I went to the county jail. I did a year in the county in between that for a transport charge where a guy came and wore a wire on me. And he was my good friend, you know what I mean? And he wore a wire on me. His sister is married to my cousin. They have 3 kids. Yeah, so this dude ratted me out like that, wore a wire, played both systems. He played the cops, he played me. I did a video on my channel at What to Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. I did a video on it.
Check that out, y'all.
Yeah, go check that out. And I break it all down to how he played me, how he played the cops. It's too much right here to talk about here. But so he came, got something from me. They raided me like 2 weeks later. They came in, my 2 dogs.
Was it something decent, like a decent size amount or what?
It was a half O. That's it.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Just a half O. And the jacked up part about it, bro, is that the police didn't even know who I was or nothing. He brought me to their attention. They said on the test, the undercover said on the stand that he didn't know who I was and that he was working for them. And my attorney asked what made him confidential and reliable, because they call these guys CRIs, confidential, reliable informants. So he asked them, well, what made him confidential? What was so reliable about him? And the undercover says, well, he's given us information in the past about people's vehicles and where they lived, you know. So he was working for the cops, and he brought me to their attention. Didn't have a case, you know. I'm not saying that makes it okay, you know what I mean? But you know, it just made it more shittier. The whole get down of it, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was jacked up. So it like I said, it could have been a lot worse, but you know, that was pretty jacked up. They killed my animals, you know, my dogs, very close dogs. You know, I had them around for a long time. They were part of the family. You know, what I mean by it could have got worse was, you know, they could have caught me with a whole bunch more with the gun, because I got caught with a pistol, but no substance, you know what I mean? But they could have took my child away. You know, she was like 11 months old at the time. Now she's 20, 21, 22.
So Wait, rewind a little bit. So you're talking about your third term now. What's leading up to your third term?
No, I don't know. This is a county. I did it in the county. I don't consider that a term.
Sorry.
Yeah,
bro.
I got a transporting charge that I end up taking a year in the county. It's weird too, bro, because I hired an attorney. He tried to get it originally with the DA. He spoke to the DA. He tried to get me no time, just a felony probation. The DA said no. Then he asked for 2 years 2 years, excuse me, 2 months in jail and the 5-year felony probation. The DA said no. He tried to get it 4 months. DA said no, all the way up until the only thing he would sign off on was a year in the county. And the reason being, I guess, because I already had two priors that sent me to prison, drug related. You know what I mean? I guess. Yeah. I don't know. But I took the year in the county. And they have at the county jail there, not the main facility, you know, they have a honor farm, you know, where you can wear your own shoes. You can wear your own shoes. You have a headphone. Your peoples can bring you radios, you know what I mean? But you have to cut off one of the earphones. So it's a lot more relaxed. It's like a ranch in a prison pretty much. And then you have to work, you know, you got to work. So what I did was I went there. So on 11, a year, you do, usually it's 8 months, 20 days, but they were giving a month, they were knocking off a month off everybody's sentence in 7 months, 20 days. So I did 3 months, I think I did 3 months and 14 days, something like that. And I got kicked out early. I was on a list to get kicked out early, and they just locked us down. That never
happens where I'm from, ever.
Yeah. Well, let me finish, because I really wasn't scot-free on this one. But let me explain what happened. So they lock us down for chow, for lunchtime, and I'm sitting on another homeboy's bed. I think I was laying on it. He's an OG. He's like, if he's alive right now, he's about 60, 65 years old. He tells me, he goes up to me, he says, "Hey, you're out of here." I go, "What?" He goes, "You're out of here." I go, "Yeah, get the fuck out of here," right? And he says, "Nah, man." He goes, "They just put the list up. You're on it." So I go over there and look. Sure enough, I'm on it. And oh, wait. You know what? That's the second part of this story. Hold on, I'm messing up. I got kicked out on which is called AWP, Alternative Work Program. Yeah. They were packed. So what they were doing was kicking guys out, and then you go down to their office and setting up the payment plan. Because what they do is they charge you $12 a day to let you go on this program. And then you have to go work for them, either on the side of the roads, to dumps, you know, where people throw their dump. They have a couple different locations. You might work at the dog pound. You might work at the hospital, the county hospital. So I went and did that. I couldn't maintain. I kept screwing up. And then every time you miss, you got to go pay $25 cash. So here I'm missing 3-4 days within a couple of weeks. You know, I'm spending more money like crazy. So finally I just said, you know what, the hell with this. I called the probation officer. I said, "Look, man, I'm running. Catch me when you can." And I hang up, right? So they catch me. It didn't take long. They caught me. It didn't take long. I got caught, I think, within a month. And and then so what happened was I go back to jail to do the difference on the 7 months, 20 days. So I think I did originally was like 3 months, 14 days. Now I have to go back and do the little less than 4 months. And I do. And so that's when the guys see my name on the list when they kicked me out early. My out date was August 20th that year, and I ended up getting kicked out on August 5th. So they kicked me out 15 days early. Then that ended. So that ended that. But, you know, and at the end of the day, it's still my fault, even though this dude ratted me out and did all that, and he got me on paperwork again, because I was like maybe 4 months shy of completing the 5 years of felony probation. And then I caught another case. Sure. I caught another case that sent me. First, I bailed out. I was out on bail, and then while I was out on bail in a separate, total different city that I was moving to, I was in the U-Haul truck. Matter of fact, I just got the money orders to move us into the new place. I gave it to the person to take care of it with the landlord, and I'm at the park kicking back, killing time, and they roll up on us, and the rest is history. I end up catching a couple more charges there, a pistol charge and a possession of sales. And I was already out on bail on a sales charge.
Oh,
right? Was it? No. It wasn't a sales charge. It was a possession of sales charge, which they automatically gave that to me because of the amount I had on me. I had some black on me, and the law states that anything over 14 grams of that is automatically a sales charge, even if it was all one solid piece.
Just for the black, they do that?
That's what I was told by my attorney, because I was like, well, wait a minute. It was all, nothing was bundled up. There was no separate bags. It was all one piece. And he told me that, or she told me that the law states anything over 14 grams when it comes to that is automatically sell. Yeah, so I ended up, and again, bro, this is the second one I was referring to earlier. I take the first deal they come at me with. Instead of, I could have held this off and probably got half of what I got. So they end up giving me I ended up getting 6 years. I ended up getting let me see if I can remember how it broke down. I got 4 years on the possession of sales.
Yeah.
I got 8 months on the pistol charge. I got 8 months on the possession of sales, the second one, and then I got 8 months on ex-felon in possession of firearm. No. Bullets. Ex-felon in possession of bullets. So it was 3 of them. 8 months. 8 months, which is a third of the midterm. So let me explain how this works now. If you're already, so I took my controlling case was the possession of sales. They gave me 4 years on it. So by law in California, anything after your controlling case, they can only give you 1/3 of the midterm on anything after that. So the midterm is 2 years on all those charges that I said. They gave me 1/3 of that, which is 8 months, 3 times. So I got 4 years plus 16 months, or actually 4 years. No, it's 4 years plus 24 months, because it was 3 of them. And then they gave me a 4-year probation violation to ran concurrent. So I ended up getting 6 years, and 6 years was with half, but I ended up doing 6 years is what, 60 months? No, 6 years is 72 months, I think. 6 years is right. Yeah.
No, 6 years is 72 months.
Right. Yep. So I ended up doing 59 months on it.
Okay, shit.
I caught some time in there. Just the normal within your own people's type stuff. You know, getting people out there. People had to go.
How was that term? How was your third term? Was it?
So that one was, I caught, like I mentioned, I caught what was that? I caught like 20 plus months of behavioral, messing up. And on top of that, they sent me to I got a bus ticket to go to Pleasant Valley. They sent me to Corcoran, right?
Oh.
I'm sitting in the bus waiting to go, because we already passed Pleasant Valley. We're going to Corcoran. Then we come back. We stop at Avenal. Then we stop at Pleasant Valley. That's that route, because those prisons are all real close. And they end up calling my name to Corcoran. I'm like, what the hell? And I even showed them that my bus ticket was my bus ticket was Pleasant Valley. And he's like, I don't know, but this is where you're getting off. So I go there. Bro, I'm not even there. I don't even get off orientation. I'm there like a little less than 3 weeks. I get put back on another bus, and now I go to Pleasant Valley. What I don't understand what the hell happened there. And then when I get to Pleasant Valley, we're all put straight to the hole. There was like 12 of us. They put us straight in the hole because they said that they went and checked our C files, our central files, and that we were found guilty of active gang activity, and we didn't fit their mission of housing Fresno Bulldogs and guys and cats that weren't active. So because of that, they wanted us to sign our 114 lockup orders, which is basically is your reason why you're going to the hole, to add seg. And we don't sign that shit. We're not admitting to any of that. You know what I mean? You're never supposed to sign. You're never supposed to sign nothing because you're admitting it. That's a mission, right? So we don't sign it. So I forgot who they called first. Something tells me they called me first when we were in that holding tank, because I do remember reading the paper out loud to everybody. And I already knew nobody was going to sign it. I know that already. That's part of the rules are within ourselves. As soon as I read that stuff, I said, "Oh, I'm not signing this." I gave it back. And I already knew everybody else wasn't going to sign. So then that CO asked everybody else. He goes, well, Ramirez, Arenas, he started naming all these Spanish names, Molina, and they're like, nah, we're not signing that. And so we all went to the hole. We were there for about 8 months in the hole. And that was another thing. They were playing games with you. You're there for a non-disciplinary reason, but now your out date's changing because you're in there. Then they're talking about, you go to committee, they're talking about, oh, we're going to put you up for solidad or high desert. and months and months and months are going by and you're not moving. Nobody's moving. And they're doing that on purpose. They're doing that on purpose because they want you guys to lock it up. Basically, they want you to say, "Oh, I'm good. I'm okay with all this shit. The hell with it. Let me out to the yard." They're trying to break you, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so we sat there for eight months, bro, and they said we're gonna go either high desert or Solano, or high desert or solidad is what I was told. Most everybody was told the same thing. A couple of them were told Solano or solidad or high desert and Solano because we were level 3s, right? So so we were level 3s this time. I came back on a longer term, so the 6 years got me 12 points for that. Then I'm part of a group. That's another 6 points. That's 18 right there. You know what I mean? I was only 20. I think I was 26 at the time. And then my first arrest was back. You know, I'll go back and look. It was 17, I think it was. So that's what got me. I got 31 points, level 3. And so what ends up happening is the B yard facility, because that most of the prisons have an A facility, B facility, C facility, D facility, and then they have either a ranch or they call it a level 1 yard, which is a support yard that they run. Almost everybody's jobs there are they're supporting the main prison. You know, if it's with food, the clothing, the blankets, the canteen, all that stuff. You know, they work all them jobs from the warehouse and they get everything ready to be sent to each yard, which they call facilities.
What prison did you end up at?
That's Pleasant Valley.
Pleasant Valley, okay. So
Pleasant Valley is in Fresno County. It's in the city of Coalinga. The town. It's a small town. And that's Fresno County. So this is a facility that they use for bulldogs on level 3s. So that's why we weren't fitting the so-called housing criteria, right, when we first got there. So what ends up happening is, instead of us making it to these other prisons we're supposed to go to, some of us made it, but I didn't make it. What they end up doing was on the B facility, the whites on the B facility end up taking off on the northern Latinos that were there, because the northern Latinos that were there weren't active, right? So they took off on them. Yeah, somewhere down the line, they got word to the administration, the captain and all them that they didn't want those guys out there with them no more. So what they ended up doing was they popped out 27 of us from the hole, and they put 27 of them in our places in the hole. So now now this yard is going to establish, this yard is going to be opened up to us.
You're opening up a new yard.
Basically, yeah, exactly. So what ends up happening is we got the program for like 4 months. We're on the yard for about 4 months. And the Bulldogs were on lockdown with the South. And then we end up, what ended up happening was after the 4 months, we programmed 6 months, something like that. I don't remember exactly. They ended up putting out 10 Bulldogs and 10 North out there together. And it went bad. It was a stage thing. They had cameras all up on all the buildings, and you know what I mean? So it didn't work out. So we ended up going on lockdown, and then eventually we lost that yard. I ended up transferring back to Tracy, getting into a little more trouble there, and then getting sent to Vacaville. Again, Vacaville, just like Pleasant Valley, I go straight to the hole because I don't fit the housing criteria. And so I finished my time there. Got out. So I was in there from 2005 till 2009, end of 2009. Yep.
So what? Just one more thing. Just one question I wanted to ask. Like, not to glorify anything, but what was the craziest thing you saw in all 3 of your terms?
Though I got 2 more. I'm not done yet.
Oh shit! My bad.
Thus far, I would say the worst thing I ever seen was I seen a dude get hit. He was on the pull-up bars. I don't remember if he was doing chin-ups or pull-ups, but he was on the pull-up bar, and as he was doing his set, he got hit. Dude started screaming. They got him in the neck. Dude started screaming, "What did I do? What did I do?" And blood was just squirting out. I seen another dude get hit. I couldn't tell if it was his eyeball, but it was close, real close there. But the eyeball was protruding out. I seen a dude get hit there, and the worst things I've ever seen was done by white dudes. Just to be honest, being honest and real, the worst stabbings I've seen were from white dudes, and it's none of our business. So you keep moving. You know what I mean? You don't sit there and that's not supposed to happen. In the joint. it just is what it is. You know, you mind your own business. You keep it moving. You try to get away. You don't make it look so conspicuous, though. You know, where like, why are they moving away so fast? You know, you just keep it collective.
Keep it mellow.
And yeah, you know what I mean. I seen a dude one time changing the TV. You know, he had his arm up in the air, changing the TV. A cat came and sliced him, and the skin was like hanging. It was hanging, you know, pretty. Basically, what it reminded me of was somebody filleting a fish. You know, or is that the right word? Filleting a fish? You know, like I don't. That might not be the right word. I don't even know what filleting means, but to me,
I know what you mean.
You know, when you slicing the fish, that's what it looked like, and you seen a different color underneath. It was weird. It was a trip.
Right.
You know, and it's funny. I don't want to say funny, but it's real common that when these things happen to these guys, they're always yelling, "What did I do?" I've heard that a few times. Like they're in shock. Like, what the hell's going on? What did I do to deserve this? You know. So I seen a lot of that to happen. I was in a riot. One time. It was about 100 man riot. There was about 15 of us, 16 of us, versus about 90. Another group segment that was kind of jacked up. A lot of block guns being shot. You know, there was really really no weapons involved, because California, they don't revert to the real bullets until they see somebody either getting stabbed, a weapon involved, or somebody knocked out and just continuously getting kicked. You know, then they'll pop you with the real weapon then. So you know, I've seen a lot of that. I've seen guys get removed for allegedly messing around with men. You know what I mean? I never seen that. I never actually seen anything like that actually happen, but I've heard of guys being you know, basically checked and tell them, you know, don't you know, whatever you got going on there, or you're doing something, you better distance yourself. And I seen them not do it and then end up getting hit. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Sometimes it might just be a removal with hands. You know, when you go on, when they send guys, usually they send 3 guys. One's called the hitter. He's the one that makes the slice, or if he has a razor blade tomahawk, they'll slice. Now it's more, you know, they want to try to take your wind, so they'll try to stab you. And then there's 2 bombers, and the bombers are the guys that just continue to punch on you and kick you until the COs finally come. You know what I mean?
Right. Damn, that's vicious, bro. I mean, and this is on a level 3, or what yards were these? That was
level 3s. I seen in level 2s too. And that's the thing with level 2s, bro. You know, they say, oh, you know, it gets weaker. There's a lot of truth to that, but what's more scary about that is that if a big riot pops off on a level 2, there's no guards up in the towers to shoot. So basically what's going to happen is this is just going to keep going, escalating. Yeah, until finally they shut all the other yards down, and then those response teams come from those other yards. And if it's that bad, then any prisons, because most of the prisons have another prison next door or another prison close. Like I was saying with Pleasant Valley, Corcoran and Avenal are not far at all from there. And then you got Old Corcoran and you got New Corcoran are right next to each other. You got Soledad and Salinas Valley are right next to each other. You got High Desert and Susanville are right next to each other. You got Old Folsom, New Folsom are right next to each other. You got Jamestown is down the road from Mill Creek. They're not that far. You know what I mean? So Tracy, you got Tracy. Then you have all the YA institutions are in Stockton. You had a female institution in Stockton, which is not far. So there's a lot of people that can respond. You know what I mean? And that's usually when they'll finally get order. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But the only, but the trueness of what people say about the level 2 is that, you know, there's not so many weapons. You know, the only ones that are really within the the only ones that are really carrying weapons are people that are on the squad. If you got a position, you're not really carrying a weapon. You know, so there's less weapons, but there's just more time to catch an old-fashioned ass whooping. You know what I mean? Or maybe hit with a broom or, you know, a mop bucket. You know, shit like that.
Right.
But yeah. So that was my 3rd term, and I got out in 2009 September. In between, I got arrested a lot of times. Never did no time though. I think I got 60 days one time with half. As soon as I turned myself in, they cut me loose. You know, I was ready to. I I was packing everything, and they kicked me out the same day. And then I caught my next term. My last 2 terms were both 4 years with half, and those ones were high-speed chase. And again, on these ones, I let me see, I caught a high-speed chase, receiving stolen property, commercial burglary, and assault. I had my last one was 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. They said that I tried to run them over with the car.
Wow.
One was, it was total bogus. One was a sergeant, one was an officer for the Turlock Police Department, and they said that I tried to hit them with the car, but they're such liars. You know, my attorney, and this was a public defender, and this was a good attorney. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 good public defenders. I had 2 good public defenders before that represented me. They did better for me than a paid attorney. But what happened was my attorney had the sergeant and the officer draw up a exhibit where I was where I came from, where they were parked, where the store was at, and both their stories were different. The positioning of where they were at, where I was at, total way off. And so what happened was at the end, and that was my prelim. So they took my cuffs off. I still was shackled at the ankles. They gave me writing paper and a pencil, and I started going to town on notes for my case. And when it was said and done, at the end of it, my attorney goes, "Your Honor," and before he can go any further, the DA butts in and says, "Your Honor, we want to drop count 2 of assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer," and that was against Officer Cervantes, but they kept the assault with a deadly weapon on Sergeant Holman. They kept that one going. So now what we're gonna do is my attorney, what is that called when he asked the exhibits to be put in evidence? We're gonna use the Officer Cervantes' testimony and his exhibit of his drawing on our side now. That's what we're gonna do. If we took it to trial, because even if I lost in trial, at that point that the offer was 5 years, 4 months, which I didn't even have a problem taking that. The problem was they were trying to suspend my license for life, saying that I used the car as a weapon, which that was straight bullcrap. So I was like, I'm not taking that because that's not what happened. But if I would have lost in trial, the most I was looking at was 7 years, 4 months. So it's only 2 years difference. I'm doing halftime, so it's really only 1 year difference. So I was like, what would I got to lose to take it to trial? You know what I mean?
Right.
So the way it works is you go to you get arraigned, right? You do all your court proceedings. You go prelim, and then the judge will say, okay, I found there's enough evidence to bound it over to Supreme Court. Discharge. He even bounded over the 1 misdemeanor charge, paraphernalia, right? And I'm like, wow. They got me on like 7 felonies, and he's gonna bound over a misdemeanor. And so what happened was we come back in 2 weeks, because that's our preliminary hearing. Now you're gonna come back and get rearraigned again, this time in Superior Court. But the funny part is you never leave that judge's courtroom. Now you went through the prelim with them, and now you're going to do your trial with them too, which I don't even see how that's constitutional. He already knows your case. He already made a decision on bounding it over. That's a little presidential in my book. And so what happens is you come back in like 2 weeks and you get rearraigned again. So before I even did all that, my attorney comes and sees me, and I explain all that to him. Like, I ain't got no problem taking the time, but I don't want that lifetime ban on my license. So he says, okay, well, let me go see. So like I said, the deal was being offered was 5 years, 4 months. So he goes, whatever he does, he comes back in like an hour, maybe 40 minutes. And he says, hey, I got good news. He says, I got good news for you. I said, well, what you got? He says, he goes, I got it down. She brought it down from 5 years, 4 months to 3 years with 4 months. And he goes, she's not going to put no paperwork through to the DMV. So your license is good. Yeah. I said, okay, run it in. Let's do it. I go, let's do it. So what they did was, the reason it came down from 5 years, 4 months to 3 years, 4 months is the charge changed from 245C, which is assault with a deadly weapon on a police officer. It was amended to a 245 A1 or 1A. I don't know. I can't remember if it's A1 or 1A, which means just straight up assault with a deadly weapon. So basically the charge went from assault with a deadly weapon on Sergeant Holman to just assault with a deadly weapon on Russell Holman. No police, not a police charge. I still got a strike on it.
Yeah.
but I got half time because nothing happened violently. It could have happened, but nothing happened.
Right.
So we took that, and then while I was locked up, I had warrants everywhere. I had like warrants from like 3 different counties. One was for probation, one was for parole, one was for
Man,
a
that's the
new.
worst.
Yeah, but luckily those 2 I was able to take care of them without having to come out to court. You know what I mean? They took care of them without me being there. And then the last one, I had to go out of court. Sacramento came and picked me up, and they gave me another 8 months, a third of the midterm, 2 years, which is 8 months, and added it on the time I was doing, which made it 4 years with half.
Yep.
And now I've been out. I got out July of 2017, and I've been out since. Got a job, and what I did was what I was telling you earlier was I did something I said I never would do. I got me a job as a dishwasher. I always said I never would work at McDonald's. I wouldn't do nothing like that. I did, and I think that's what helped me.
You humbled yourself, bro.
Exactly, and that's the word I use. Yeah, I humbled myself, and it was able to break my way that never worked. You know what I mean? My way never worked. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had all these prison terms. You know what I mean? At some point, you gotta admit where you're messing up and humble yourself, like you said. And you know, that's what I did. And I've been out since, and you know, I got a granddaughter, grandbabies now. I'm there for my kids. I'm able to buy them school clothes. You know, 6 kids, 3 of them are grown now. 3 of them are still going to school, but you know, there's never no issue. You know, they need this, need that. Okay, let's get it.
That's awesome,
I never was able to do that. Yeah, I wasn't able to ever do that before. You know.
Right. Yeah, it's not sustainable, that fast life, man. It's hard to, you know, because when I sold drugs and I kind of shifted to, you know, working and being a member of society, it's hard because when you're living that kind of life, you want what you want and you want it now. But when you're living a good life, you got to be patient and you got to be humble and resilient. And that sounds like what you did, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. I got me a job. And then I just worked myself up, you know, in that company. Then I became a foreman, and you know, basically my hours, my pace, you know what I mean? So it was cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. So that's cool, man. So you're working, you're you know, taking care of your kids, you're being a father. I know you said you got a YouTube channel, you got some stuff for, you know, what's going on with that?
Yeah, so I got I'm part of the original channel was called No Fly Zone Ricans. We're all Puerto Rican. Obviously, we put Ricans there. The reason why we put Ricans on there because originally the channel was just called No Fly Zone, but the problem was nobody could find us when we tell somebody our name. They would punch in YouTube and then No Fly Zone and all these
so many
rap
different
videos,
channels.
all kinds of things would pop up. Videos, music videos, maybe a segment in you know, NBC, you know, called No Fly Zone. And so we threw the Ricans on there to distinguish us from everything else. And that's a 3-man crew. It's Nelson. He's from Brooklyn, New York. He lives in Georgia now. He's an actor on The Walking Dead. And then my second co-host is Carlos. He's out of the Bronx. And he now lives
crazy, bro.
He lives in Florida. And then me, Northern Cali. So we put a East Coast, West Coast perspective on. I mean, we talk about a wide variety of things: kung fu movies, wrestling, boxing, the music back in the day, freestyle music, just all kinds of things. And we give how, you know, we grew up, what we remember. And we done some interviews over there. We did some interviews. I had one interview lined up, pretty big platform. The guy has about 72,000 subs on YouTube. Everybody knows who he is. I don't want to say the name because it ended up falling through because I got sick and I was literally in bed for like 15 days, man. I was sick. And so it ended up not working out, but I'm hoping to get him back on one day, you know. So we do a whole bunch of things there. Unfortunately, we haven't been on in about 3 weeks because my co-hosts got things going on in their personal life that's been keeping them from doing it. So what ended up happening because of some of that, like when the filming of The Walking Dead, you know, we would only get like a show a weekend. I got antsy. I got used to the YouTube. I started my own channel, which that was the plan anyways. We were all going to branch off and do our own stuff. So that's why at the end of the title, What to Do with Big Lou, I got NFZR2, which stands for No Fly Zone Ricans 2. But on my channel, What to Do with Big Lou, I talk about all kinds of stuff. Majority sports, football, baseball, basketball, boxing, pro wrestling. And then I did a video on prison reform. I've done things like the other day I did one on the pit bulls, the misconception of pit bulls. I told little stories, a couple of dogs I had. Yesterday I did a video on DVI. I did a video on San Quentin. I've done videos just on like stories. I've little things I've been through in county jail and prison. So I'm all over the place, and I think there's something there for everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah. So that channel is What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2, and Wit is just a W and then the line through. I don't spell out the whole world. The whole word. Jeez. Sorry about that.
Yeah. So What It Do with / Big Lou, NRZ.
No, it's What It Do, just W for Wit.
Oh,
and then and then Big Lou, NFZR2. It's a small channel. I only got like 270 subs, something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to grind. I ain't tripping. I mean, if it happens, it happens. But it's more done for fun and somewhat of therapy, I think too. Sometimes when I'm feeling a little upset about things, I drop a video and I feel a little better.
Hey man, I'll tell you this, just from my perspective, I'm a pretty small channel too. I only got like 770 subs, but it just takes one video, bro, that'll pop off to grow your channel. Just remember that. Like you get that one video that somehow gets traction, and you'll all of a sudden, like, I made a video a while back, and it was crazy. I got like 150 subs in like a week, and I was like, damn. But
wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
As long as I can get me, I mean, so far the way it's been, like, as long as I can get me like anywhere from 5 to 8 a week, that's cool with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But the shorts, you're talking about like a shorts video, right? When you hit, are you talking about a regular video?
I was just out. Yeah, it could be a shorts video or just a normal video. I'm saying mine was a normal video, but shorts are a good way to promote your channel too, though.
Yeah, because at the time I did a short on a certain subject between two guys that were YouTubers, and at the time I had about 140 subs, and I got like almost 5,000 views off that one so far.
Really?
So, and I honestly believe I get a lot of my subs from the shorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. I gotta start doing that too.
Yeah, it's a lot of names I don't recognize. Like, like David S. Cameron. He's been around, either with me or watching the same channels for a while. You know what I mean?
Right. So, yeah, he comments. Yeah. He comments on all my shit too. That's funny. He's an older guy.
He's an older guy from England. Yeah, he's from England. Yeah.
Dude, so I got many England people that are subscribed to my channel. It's crazy. They must just be people from the UK. Must just be fascinated with American culture. Maybe I think a lot of other countries are, but it's cool.
I think more of what it is the crime culture, the mob stuff and prison stuff. You know what I mean? Because I got a lot of subs from England, and I got some from Australia. I got New Zealand. I got Scotland, Ireland. You know what I mean?
So, that's what's up, bro.
I think you're right on that, because a lot of these guys even been to the system, in Scotland and Ireland, but still want to hear stories,
Right.
So it is what it is. I don't, I always I always put a big emphasis on being thankful to the subscribers,
Yeah, bro. Well, shit, man. I'm definitely gonna put when I edit this video, I'm gonna put both your YouTubes in the link in the description. You guys go check out Big Lou. Sorry, I can't remember the name. If you want to shout it out one more time.
Okay, so my first channel is No Fly Zone Ricans. Second channel is What It Do with Big Lou, but again, it's the W/ Big Lou. So it's What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. Yeah. Okay,
that's what's up, bro. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check you out because I haven't seen you. Like, I'm excited to watch a couple of your videos because I love YouTube, bro. Like, that's what I do. So I'm gonna check you out for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on and doing this little collab, and then hopefully we could do some on my channel, figure it out.
Yeah, bro. I'm definitely down to. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm in contact with on a friend level with a circle of guys that are majority of them are small channels. Matter of fact, just yesterday or within the last 2-3 days, three channels hit the 1,000 mark. One's about 666, and then me, and then a couple of them are the main guy who tries to raise money to get you over the 1,000. So like a winner will get I don't know exactly how they do it, but the winner will get some money, the 1,000th subscriber or whatever.
Yeah.
He's got like 3,000 subs, I think, and his channel is called I don't know, you might have seen him too, Vegas Prison Stories. I don't know if you've seen him.
He's kind of been new. He's like new in the prison scene,
Yeah. Well, he has over 3,000 subs. I think it only took him. Matter of fact, I just heard him. He said it only took him like 8 days to get 1,000. I think.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah, it's real short. 10 days or 14 days.
That's
it was
crazy, bro. Because
I've
been working my ass, or not working my ass off, but like I've been putting a decent amount of effort in the last 6 months, and it's a grind, bro. But
it is.
Like I said, it takes one video, bro. It takes one video.
I got just as many videos as I have subs, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a grind, bro. Hey, it is. A lot of them are short videos. There's a lot of shorts I got, but some of them are shorter. And there's a whole there's a bunch of different things that'll help you. You got to look at your audience. Sometimes it's better to do 14-minute videos, 10-minute videos. If you got to do a part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, go ahead. Making sure you hashtag everything right. No clickbaiting. Do a good thumbnail. You know what I'm saying? That matches with something that goes good with the title. And then like you said, it only takes that one video. One of the guys within the circle, he had a video where he got like 800,000 views on this video, and out of nowhere he went from almost having 1,000 to like 3 days later having 3,000 subs. Damn. He still wasn't monetized. He wasn't monetized because it was a short, and majority all his hours came from shorts. So he still had to work.
No, actually, the shorts hours don't count towards your 4,000 watch hours.
That's what I just said. That's what I was just saying.
Oh,
yeah, that's what I was just saying. He has he had the subs, but he didn't have the watch hours, right? Because majority of his videos were shorts. So he still was working on that. Now he's monetized though. So it's just a grind, bro. Like everything else, nothing's just going to be handed to you. Right. It's all on you, man. How hard you're going to work on it, and all that stuff comes into play. Like with my channel, I still need to do my my intro, outro. I'm way behind, bro. I just learned how to do the thumbnails on the lives. I haven't even figured out how to do it on the pre-recorded. I haven't even figured it out yet.
If you ever need any help, bro, just hit me up. Like I've been editing videos since I was 14 because I was a skateboarder and a snowboarder, and I would edit videos as a kid. So I love doing it. I'll help you out anytime, bro.
Okay.
But yeah, appreciate man, that. I think I'm gonna cut the interview short. But do you want to shout anyone out? Give any advice to some youngsters out there who might be, struggling with addiction or just criminal thinking or anything like that?
I'm gonna say this, and this goes off a little bit what I was saying already. Your way, we get ignorant in our ways, and we think we got it. And I'm proof of it that I didn't have it for a long time. So take the help that's being given to you, no matter what it is. If it's just talking, all the way to actually, if you're struggling with addiction, if they want to help you, put you in a program, don't fight it. Yeah, you're gonna not feel good. Well, depending what the addiction is, if it's opiate type things, you're not gonna feel good, but you're not gonna die. Don't get me wrong, it's not comfortable, but hey, it is what it is. And most facilities, they will try to give you something for the withdrawing. It's gonna help out. It might not take it all the way away, but it's gonna help.
Yeah.
You gotta really pay attention when you're in recovery, and all these things, might not everything might not work for you or pertain to you, but there's always something. If it's NAAA, if it's Celebrate Recovery, church, whatever, a little bit of this, a little bit of that will help you get over things, and just really take a big look at things, and if you're gang banging and doing criminal stuff, just know that those guys, that they're your homeboys, they ain't gonna be there for you. I'm telling you this. I'm 44 years old. I've been through this. I've seen it. I've heard. Yeah, I've seen it from other people. That's not the answer, man. So just really, really look at your situation and you know, and research other people's stories, man, because more people are more similar than they're not. I don't care what people might try to put out there, because we're different skin colors or we're from different parts of the nation. We're more similar than not, you know. So you gotta just take it in stride what people is telling you. It might be constructive criticism. You might not like hearing it, but they're only really there to help you. And it's you gotta at some point admit what you're doing and try to get better. You know what I mean? As far as shots out, shots out, I want to say send a shout out to Harvey from Harvey Prison Talk, Buzz from Yard Recall, Rick from Vegas Prison Stories, Frank from Frank's Positive Vibes, my co-host Nelson and Carlos, you know what I mean? Them cats, you know, and everybody that's been around me and shown me respect and support since the first day I popped on this YouTube. And I mean in the comment section, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what's up,
that's
bro.
About it. Yeah. If you guys, like I said earlier, No Fly Zone Ricans, that's the original channel. And What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. You know, go and check us out. Give us a sub, like, comment, and also share. You know what I mean? And I respond back to all the comments. That's what I do. It's important. I think that's very important to do that. You know what I mean? But that's it, Luke. Again, thanks for bringing me on. It was an honor and a pleasure to be on here with you, telling everybody a little bit about me and my historia, my history. And I'm in it for the long haul. I'm in it for the grind, baby. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, bro. I've never done an interview like this, and it's like I said, man, like that's why this YouTube platform is so powerful, because it's like, look, we're two completely different people, but like you said, we have more similarities than differences, but we're probably two people that never would have crossed paths if it wasn't for something like this, man. So I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome what you're doing. You're a positive role model to your kids, not only to your kids, but to just people watching the video, to people who you interact with. So just keep doing what you're doing, bro. Like, and I appreciate you coming on, man. Seriously.
And that's another thing real quick too. If you've been through the system, you know how things work. If you don't have kids, you got nephews and nieces, you got little cousins, you got even family friends or neighborhood kids. I think it's our duty to get at them and on a real serious note and let them know that it's not worth it going that route. You know, even if they don't have an issue with being in trouble or drug use, still put it in their ear. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let them know, don't waste your time. You know?
That's what's up. That's what's up, bro. Well, shit, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yep. All right, man.
Yep.
Big Lou, tap out.
Yep, that's right. All right, you guys. Thank you for watching. This is Luke from lukegtv, and I'm out. Peace.